part of the research work that we do is looking at students making the transition from high school into engineering school, and in particular the focus on students learning to develop self-regulation of learning skills. Becoming able to regulate your own learning is quite important in terms of students' performance when they're in university, but also it's important as a learning goal in terms of lifelong learning. People who are able to make plans, to monitor their own learning, to debug it if it's not working, and to reflect upon what they've done. People who are able to do that tend to be better in terms of lifelong learning. I guess one of the big changes we've identified since all the students have gone home is that we've really recognized the extent to which a lot of the regulation of learning is actually implicit in the way in which the school works. So it's about the fact that there is a timetable, it's about the fact that there are rooms to go to, it's about the fact that there are people around you, and that helps to motivate you. And now, contrary to when they're on campus, students actually have to do much more self-regulation of learning than would have been the case normally. So even if it was always important when they were on campus, it's now much more important when they're at home. And so that raises interesting questions about how we support students as this COVID crisis continues. What will it change in terms of what we specifically do? It'll probably change two things. First of all, part of the work we do is about developing digital tools to help students learn these self-regulation skills. We do that very often with the Centre for Digital Education, the CEDE, around a tool called the Learning Companion. And we're really going to have to look at how the Learning Companion can be used in a situation in which many students may well be working either remotely or at least in some sort of blended learning environment. The Learning Companion is designed as a tool in part to help teachers and students be aware of students' needs and learning goals at any given time. And that communication tool becomes probably increasingly important in blended learning situations. So that's one aspect. Maybe a second important aspect that really became evident in the surveys we've done with students and with teachers over the last couple of weeks during this crisis is that there was a support system really put in place for teachers to help teachers teach in this setting. But actually, there was very little supports put in place for the students to help the students learn how to learn during this setting. It was left to the teachers to do that, but this was a totally new situation for the teachers just as much as it was for the students. And so that's something we need to look at. How do we help students learn how to learn in this remote or blended learning environment? First of all, I guess we've already been doing work on developing digital tools to help students learn self-regulation skills. I think those digital tools will become increasingly important in a context in which students will be maybe less on campus or less in face-to-face situations. So I think that there's going to be a whole series of additional needs from the kind of digital tools that we've been developing for students around communication, around feedback to students, around feedback between students and teachers, around what students are learning and where they need to go. Secondly, I think that we've already put in place a lot of digital tools in terms of helping students learn how to learn. The Learning Companion is one aspect of that. We already have a MOOC in place. We already have a digital book that we send to students. But I think we also now need to rethink that, because we had focused very much on learning how to learn in face-to-face environments. And we now need to rethink what messages, what supports we give students in increasingly disembodied environments.